We now take you back to Redeye, which is already in progress.
Leave this.
Yes, it's called the administration of the Democratic Congress to clearly believe this. But I don't know that it's really so much of a theory as it is an instinct amongst the left wing of the Democratic Party to simply spend money. I mean, it's like asking if you think there's a principle behind the concept we have to keep sinning or we'll become morally bankrupt. It makes no sense. It's been disproven over long periods of time, and it is unfortunately the very worst thing we can do to get jobs going in this country.
You know what? Sinning from going morally bankrupt, Chris, is my kind of lifestyle.
Right, are you going over to the left? Suddenly they found a way to convince you to come over, right?
I've been told under no uncertain terms by Fox News that they will not be spending money on me for Redeye to make money. They've been very clear about that.
Well, enough about your contract. All right. From one yo-yo to another. It's a toy that seemingly disappeared, a relic of a different, perhaps simpler time, but with a little jerk, it's back, and backier than ever. The current economic downturn has meant the yo-yo industry, or big yo-yo to the Daily Coast crowd, is up, and down, and up, and down, but mostly up. I believe we have some tape of some typical yo-yo enthusiasts.
Come meet the world's hottest yoers. Now, hold on tight, because you've just entered the Yo Zone.
Those guys are to the extreme, in your face.
Couldn't be more in your face, sir.
Oh, man, all over. Anyway, for Duncan, the leading maker of yo-yos in the U.S., these are heady days. Sales are up 16,000% from a year ago.
Really?
And as Americans seek a more inexpensive plaything, the company rakes in huge profits, fueling the notorious booze and drug-fueled partying that is known of yo-yo execs and sales associates who, in these grim economic times, have single-handedly resuscitated the swinger resort and crack cocaine industry.
I had no idea.
I know. This is a story no one is reporting. Heady days.
Sounds like Cavuto's crew.
I don't know.
Good Lord.
Hey, Congressman, something tells me you once owned a yo-yo.
I did, and now I just watch you on TV.
That was just insensitive and hurtful. Do you think it's a good idea, a return to simpler toys made of plastic and string?
Well, it's certainly much more difficult to put your eye out with one of them than it used to be. But I can't figure out the cultural leitmotif that's driving this, and quite simply, I don't have the time to try to.
Chris, is this refreshing? Or is it depressing?
It's depressing. I mean, you talk about games from the past. I think that the AARP town hall meeting might have gotten into this a little bit. I can't see the hula hoop making a comeback, nor can I see, quite frankly, kids in the hood playing pickup sticks on the corner. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, that's a good point, Lauren. Will kids really be willing to trade in their Grand Theft Auto? I believe that's a game.
It is.
Is it a game? We'll look it up in the break. For a yo-yo. Will they give it up for that?
I hope so, Greg, because there's nothing more attractive than a man who knows how to work his yo-yo. I've always believed that, and I was quite excited to see that video there, and I hope it makes a comeback. I'm sick of being bored by myself, not getting paid attention to while someone's playing a video game. You know? I want to see your yo-yo in action.
Do you feel guilty when you see the poor little kids with their yo-yos as you go on your mad spending sprees down Madison Avenue, throwing money every which way but loose while they're playing with their poor little yo-yos?
It's true, Bill, but I did feel better reading this article because some of them have horrible injuries from playing with their yo-yos.
And they also have $500 yo-yos.
Yeah, that is an amazing $500 yo-yo.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but even poor Bill can't even afford the cheapest yo-yo.
I have part of a yo-yo.
Yes.
I have the string. There is the yo-yo guys. They really do get injured. There's one guy that was carried. He was carried in the World Yo-Yo Contest last year. He was carried off by a gurney while he was doing one of his tricks because he dislocated something or
His
other.
kneecap.
Yeah.
How do you dislocate a kneecap when you're throwing a yo-yo?
That's how extreme it is. That's how extreme it is.
And yet you don't see many yo-yo groupies. No yo-yo ho-hos for these guys.
No yo-yo.
I wish there's still a lot of yo-yo virgins in this country.
Chris, do you know any yo-yo tricks?
Well, there's the the Yosemite Escape. There's the what else is there? I was reading all these names.
Yes.
It's like the Corn Pops Explosion.
Avoid the Dirty Wazowski kid. Yeah. Avoid the Dirty Wazowski.
Yeah, I think you need actually a glass table for that one.
You do. No, that's the chocolate tub thumper.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yes.
All right, from miserable toys to misbehaving boys. Does Congressman McCotter behave Thaddeus because his name is actually Thaddeus? According to a new study, the more unique the name one gives their infant sons, the greater the chance little fat-faced McGee will end up in jail. That was my name growing up. Fat-faced McGee.
I did not know you were Irish.
Yes, I had a huge face for an Irishman. According to the most recent issue of Social Science Quarterly, I love their January centerfold, by the by, quote, unpopular names are likely not to be the cause of crime, but the social factors of being tagged with an offbeat moniker increase the tendency toward juvenile delinquency. That is boring. In alphabetical order, the top 10 bad boy names are Alec, Ernest, Garland, Ivan, Kareem, Luke, Malcolm, Preston, Tyrell, and Walter. Those are the names of all of your toes, Bill.
They really are.
A close 11.
I have 11, Greg.
Yes, a close little pink. You know, they left out John Gibson. That is crazy name. Hey, Congressman, I got to ask you, your name is Thaddeus. Was that, did that help you, or did that hurt you in life?
Well, first, let's just be clear. I was just laying there. I had no input in the decision-making process. And I'm too cheap to go get it changed at this point.
I like that.
But it really, well, thank you for that, Greg. That's very comforting to know. But people always ask, where did it come from? And I'm actually named after St. Jude Thaddeus, the patron saint of desperate and hopeless causes, and as a Republican these days, it's appropriate.
You know, Thaddeus is like a name you'd hear in Gladiator.
Well,
yes.
Thaddeus.
But I like that. I believe in this. I believe in this whole thing because, to me, if you name your son, your firstborn, Eugene, he's going to end up like Eugene on the movie Grease. If I'm going to name my first son Thor, and then my second son Leap, and then Lars. Because have you ever met a Thor that was like a little wimpy guy?
Yeah.
Thor is like a Greek god. Nordic guy.
My masseuse is Thor.
Sort of. Right in a loincloth.
Yeah, it really does. He's a terrible masseuse, but, you know, that's not why I hired him.
If you want your kids to be creative, let them come up with a nickname. Like, for example, Lauren's a very pedestrian name, but I call her Thunderlips, and she likes that. Off camera, she goes by Thunderlips, but that's her choice.
Really? You like that?
Lauren's just my TV name.
Really? I had no
Thunderlips
idea.
and hula hoop.
You know, what's a really dumb nickname, real dumb name is Pinch. What do you have to say to that, New York Times?
How dare you, Greg? Cheap shot. But here's the thing. All of our columnists have very pedestrian names as well. We've got Bob, Maureen, Paul. And the odd thing is, out of all of them, the most pedestrian name, Bob, he's the one that mutilates animals.
No, that is not
It's interesting. Bob Herbert.
No, you are a liar.
It's shocking.
Correct that.
He was underneath his desk.
Pinch is
Poor
lying.
squirrels.
Stop that. Stop
poor
that. All right.
squirrels.
We got to move on. This next story is as enjoyable as shoplifting is deplorable.
True.
What will Congressman McCotter say about things and stuff? One thing you can count on, I will not understand half of the words he uses.
There he is working.
Yeah, he's working.